Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to kind of build your turtle. We're going to use some of the steps that we practiced yesterday. So we're going to make our pinch pot for our domed turtle shell. So I've already done that. So if you haven't kept yours from yesterday, which is fine, I want you to pause the video and make your dome shell right now. Okay, the next thing you're gonna need is a slab for your bottom turtle shell. So if you didn't keep yours from yesterday, I want you to pause the video and make your slab for your bottom shell. Okay, we're also gonna need a coil, about the length of your hand or so. It doesn't need to be a very long coil. Remember, we want about the thickness of your thumb. So if you didn't save yours from yesterday, I want you to pause the video and make a coil right now. Okay, the next things we're gonna need is we're gonna need water, fork, and a pencil or some other kind of tool to join your Play-Doh together using the score, slip, stick, and smooth method. So you need to make sure you have those things. And then you're also going to need some extra clay for some of the other parts we're going to be building today or sculpting today. Okay, so make sure you've got all of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to attach my two shells together. Okay, and they aren't the same size, right? So I might have to do some trimming to this. I'm going to use my fork to score today, I think. Score my edges. Okay, and then I can make some really big score marks on here. Remember, not too deep. I know it's kind of hard with the Play-Doh. Okay, add my water in. Okay, then once it looks like it's starting to develop that slip, that slime stuff, we're going to put this shell on. Now, just notice how wobbly my shell is. Yours probably is too. So here's a little trick. If you take some wadded up paper towel or newspaper or something and wad it up really small and kind of just put it in the center of your shell. Okay, so paper towel. When you press these together, you won't collapse your little pinch pot shell you made, your little dome shell. So I'm gonna pick these up and then I'm just gonna kind of pinch them together. Okay, you see that slip that was starting to form? Okay, so we're sticking them together right now. I can't gently twist the shell this time because there's too much going on here, but I can still kind of pinch or press them together. Okay, and remember the next step is to smooth. Now for my turtle, I still want it to look like it's two separate shells, so I'm gonna kind of be like smoothing a little bit underneath here. Okay, I think I've got all that edges smoothed, but we've got all this excess here, right? How do we get rid of that? Okay, so you can pinch it off. You could take your fork and kind of use the side and cut. Whatever works the best for you to kind of trim this up. And you can use this extra Play-Doh clay stuff that you trim off for the other parts that we're gonna make. Okay, so he's kind of looking a little choppy. So, you know, use your fingers, kind of smooth them out. Okay, I've got my 2 turtle shells. I don't see any daylight coming through. They're still sticking together, so that's good. Looking kind of turtley. Okay, the next thing, I'm going to take that extra clay I just had, and I need to make a head and a tail. So, actually, that's about the right amount for a head. So, kids ask me all the time, how much Play-Doh or clay do I need to make a turtle head? Well, we want to think about proportions, okay? But it's also your design. So if you want your turtle to have a really big kind of cartoon-like or stuffed animal or Disney character sort of head, you can do that. If you want it to be more realistic and have a smaller head, then take less clay. I'm going to kind of just start with a ball of clay. And this is where you get to have fun and kind of do your own thing. You're going to kind of pinch its face, and most turtles kind of have a pointy nose. Okay, we're just gonna kind of pinch a nose. And if you look all the way around, it's kind of pinched up a little bit like a cone or a pyramid. Okay, and then you get to have fun with it. You get to kind of make a face on this guy. So in the directions, it says you need to have 2 eyes and a mouth, and you can draw this on. Okay, sometimes I like to take a tool and kind of cut it open so he's got an open little mouth. You get to have fun. You can do whatever you want. I've had students like create like full faces, make them look like they have tongues. I'm gonna just draw some like little nostrils on him. Okay. You know, you could take some other little tiny pieces of clay and you could make 3-dimensional eyes if you don't want to just have like little eye sockets. This part is up to you. This is your own design. Make it your own character. Your turtle does not need to look exactly like mine. This is part of you being an artist and making your own choices. Okay, I don't know why he looks angry all of a sudden. Just kind of rolling a small little sphere, little ball of clay for eyeballs. And stick it in, and the reason I'm pinching this is to kind of, did you guys notice we didn't do the score, slip, stick, and smooth? Because these are so tiny, it's hard. But I kind of made that little pit for their hole for them to fall in, and I put them halfway in, and then I kind of just pinch, and that's going to help like seal that in there. And I'm going to give his little, oop, lost a nostril. That was a pinch. I don't know why. My turtles always end up looking angry. Okay, so here's this. We've got a head. Okay, we need to make a tail. So a tail is much smaller than a head, usually on turtles. Okay, so I want to have a smaller chunk of clay, and I'm going to turn it into a little ball or sphere. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is take my finger, and I'm just going to roll, like that coil move method, on one end. And see how my finger's tilted? Like it's not flat, it's sort of tilted up like this, so that I'm pressing more on one side than the other, and I make like a little cone. And it's kind of round at that end. We're going to kind of flatten that. And I know this looks kind of goofy. You're like saying, oh, it's a giant table. Like we all want to make tails that are nice and thin, like what we think of a tail is, right? Like that. But the problem is when we try and score, slip, stick, and smooth this to the back of your turtle, it won't work. We'll stick it on here like that, and then this will dry and fall off. So if we make a bigger surface area here, I'm just going to tap this to kind of flatten it. Okay, if I make a bigger surface area and I score both pieces, add my water to make some slip. Okay, stick, give it a little gentle twist. Okay, now I'm going to smooth it on. I know it looks like he's got a big behind and big tail here, but this is going to make it stay better and your tail won't fall off as easy. Okay, so if you want a little thinner, that's like when you're smoothing it like this, that's when we can kind of thin that tail a little. Okay, and you can, if you want, give it a little pinch and thin it and make it a little thinner. You can make it like kind of curl and come up. You can give it some character, okay? So there's my turtle tail. I've got the head. We need to score. I'm just gonna dunk that a little bit, just a little, okay? Score my front of my shell, right? Because the head goes the opposite side of the tail. Make sure I've got the head on the right direction. Upside down, it looks silly. You can do it if you want, I guess, but you want them more realistic, I guess. Okay, attach our head. And he is going to be really wobbly. And you might notice, oh, his head's too heavy and he's wobbling and it might fall off. So if you have that happening to you, you can always just grab another chunk of clay or a piece of newspaper or something and just kind of use it to prop his head up until he dries a little more. Okay, so I'm going to move him to the side for a little bit. Remember that coil we made? Okay. We need to make some turtle legs. Turtles usually have 4 legs, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut however far I think I want my legs to be. Think about a turtle, okay? If you want those legs to be coming kind of off the side and down like he's a tortoise and he's standing up, if you want to come from underneath, okay? Or if you want flippers for a sea turtle, you have to kind of make those artistic decisions yourself, okay? And decide how long these legs need to be, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the rest of my coil and use my tool to cut them so that they're all about the same length. So I have 3 and 4, okay? And then this is my extra. Do you notice how this one's nice and round and these ones ended up kind of looking like they're candy wrappers? So all I did, they kind of flattened when I cut them. It's just gave them a little bit of a roll. I'm not pressing too much because I don't want this to get too much bigger. And then I just sort of tapped the edges, you know, give it a little squish so they go back to their coil shape, okay? Tap the edges, give it a little bit of roll. Okay. Same thing we did before. Score. Make my score marks. Okay. Gently place my turtle down. Make some score marks. Okay, I'm gonna dunk these guys again, just a little bit, and they're not drowning. I'm just barely getting some water in there. Stick, we're gonna give it a little gentle twist and press. Dunk, to stick them, twist and press. Dunk, twist and press. Dunk, twist and press. Okay, so now my legs are on there. We have to smooth these on. I'm going to be really gentle and I'm going to be really careful how I'm holding that head and tail and how I'm holding my hand. I want to kind of support that head and tail. Remember, like you're holding a baby turtle. Okay, go all the way around. Smooth it. Do this for each leg so that you know they get stuck on there really well. Okay, now you're done sculpting your turtle.